Live. I think we're live.
Talk, talk. Hello, friends. We're live. How's it going? Andy Hayes here, founder and creator of Plum Deluxe, and your host for today's Q&A. Today we're talking about dessert teas because it's dessert tea month at Plum Deluxe. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see you guys. I think this is my first live in 2021. I made a note here. It's day 33 of 2021. Might be a different day if you're tuning into the recording. So hello, future people. Day 34, 35. We're making it through one day at a time. Having the glass of water actually right now in this nice poppy mug that we have. To just enjoy the moments. So it's just always a good reminder. As we do our Q&A today, just taking a moment. So today, I used to, in the past, do my Q&As at the end of the month, but we're going to shift that and try to do them earlier in the month so I can also talk about whatever's happening in the store that month. And so since this month is dessert tea month, I'm talking about dessert teas, and I have some great questions from you guys already lined up, and hopefully we'll get a few more in from the feed as we go. So this is, I think, the third, possibly the second dessert tea month, and we do this every year. Used to be just kind of a play off of Valentine's Day, but we have so many great dessert teas. I think it's something that we're actually really good at. Just brag on ourselves, a little pat on the back for a second, that we just wanted to feature them. And if you don't know, a dessert tea is just a tea that's kind of inspired by something desserty. So, you know, it could be something like caramel or coconut or chocolate or cake or something else that doesn't start with C. It doesn't have to be like a tea that has pieces of cake in it. I'm not a big fan of those, by the way, because that's just weird, like having tea with something mushy in it that doesn't really dissolve. Ours are just inspired by desserts. So nice, clean flavoring, clear ingredients, no sugar, nothing weird. So that's why we're really proud of them. So we have a ton of those teas on our site, and then during Dessert Tea Month, we add in some extras that you can try this month. And they're sometimes recipes that we've been testing and just want to get more feedback on, or we just want to surprise you guys. And this month we had one tea that was a request by several members in our year-end survey from last year. So at the end of the year last year, and most years, we ask you guys for your feedback on what we could do differently, and you tell us what you want, and we make it happen. And so this month we have the first of those, which is the Italian wedding cake tea. I have several of these new teas here. Let's see. Of course, it's like the last one that I pick up. Italian wedding cake. It's not a cake. It's just pecan, coconut, and I'm forgetting the last. Pecan, coconut, and vanilla. That's kind of the cake part. Everyone that has smelled this tea is like, wow, we should make more of that because people are going to buy this tea like crazy. And what's really interesting this month, we'll also do the Mardi Gras blend, which is just like a cinnamon pecan. So we have these two different pecans in the store at the same time. And they're, I suspect this one will be just as popular as Mardi Gras. So if you love pecan, things are coming up roses for you this month because you have this amazing tea. And then I have this other tea that I've been wanting to do forever, and we've just had trouble getting enough supplies to make it. And this is toasted marshmallow. It's kind of like a burnt, creamy vanilla. And this is in a decaf black. So if you're wanting no caffeine or very, very little, we got you here. This tea is just delicious, and it also smells amazing. It's the most creamiest smell of all the teas, except maybe Reading Nook, I would say. And then a tea, I think we've done something similar in the past, but not exactly. Caramelized pear. This is just a classic tea flavor. We put our own spin on it. So we have this in the shop all month long. So I'm really excited about those. Don't forget that during Dessert Tea Month, quantity discounts apply. So the more teas you buy, the more you save, up to 30%. So excited about that. You don't have to do anything to get the discount. You just put them in your cart, and the website calculates it for you automatically. I'll ask Kieran, who's hanging out in the feed, to put the link, if they haven't already, for Dessert Tea Month page. There's a page that explains it all. So if you're not sure which teas are included or how to figure out what that means, we got a link for you. So dessert teas. As I said before, they're kind of inspired by classic desserts. It doesn't mean that they have to be sweet. Sometimes think more like they're creamy, or they're just really inspired by those flavors. So that combination of something that makes the dessert special, we're just trying to take a little bit of that magic, put it in your teacup, but then you don't have the guilt, right? Less sugar, less calories, all that stuff. Hopefully full of satisfaction. So now that I've talked about a little bit about dessert teas, I want to just jump right into the questions. I had some really good ones that kind of cover some of the things I wanted to talk about, so we're just dive right in. And reminder, if you have a question, Kieran and Jen are helping me in the comments get questions in front of me, so if you have a question, just let us know. About Dessert Tea Month, that's our focus today, is about dessert teas. So let's dive into it. So looking through the questions that were asked, I got a lot of questions about pairings, dessert tea pairings. And I have opinions, dessert tea opinions. So here we go. It's really simple. I think that if you're having a dessert tea, you either go like for like. So you're having red velvet pu'er, and you went out and got red velvet cake, like for like flavor explosion, amazingness, it's all working together. Or you go for something really plain and let the tea shine. That's my opinion. One of those two things. The thing is, though, you can't go wrong in tea because it's your taste buds. It's not mine that matter. It's yours. So whatever you think is better, go for it. But that is my rule of thumb. If I'm having a specific flavor, I'd love to have it with, paired with the thing. That's just amazing. So nice. It could even be like a partial, like say you're having the caramelized pear, and you've got like poached pears, or you could just have like pears that are going to go to waste. Like for like. So very similar flavors. And then the opposite end would be something really plain. So think about like buttery shortbread tea with like a nice vanilla plain creme brulee. Something really simple, not too extravagant. I like that. Just one is just like, like flavor explosion, and then the other is like, lets the tea shine. So that's my opinions on pairings. Got it? So then Jude asked, when making a dessert tea, do you think about a specific preparation? So this ties right into the same thing, same as the previous question. And I think there's a misconception that dessert teas have to be made with milk and sugar. That is not true. You get to make your tea however you like it, and that's all that matters. So even if it's a tea that specifically recommends, we don't do a ton of that, but on occasion we will say, this tea is amazing with like a drop of honey or a bit of sugar, like the pork chip and pecan I love with a little bit of maple dust. It's like just amazing. But that doesn't mean that you will like it as much as I do. So you get to choose. I like to remind people that if you're trying something new tea, new to you, that you try it without anything first, so that you know what you want to add. It's just like when you get a dish at a restaurant, you don't just lull up the salt on it. Okay, maybe I do that sometimes. Remember when we used to go to restaurants, you guys? I was just saying, this used to be a thing. But you don't just like lob all the salt on there. You taste it first and just do a check. So the same with the tea. If it's new to you, try it. Try and experiment. But the dessert teas, you don't need to add milk and sugar. Yes, it is true. A lot of them go great with milk, great in lattes, things like that. Sugar, can go either way. Depends on which sweetener you're talking about. And some of them I would just worry about it kind of reading too sweet. So just try it beforehand. But I just want to make sure clear this misconception that you don't have to have milk and sugar with dessert tea. You can have it however you like. Okay, let's see. Trisha asked me, could you make a section devoted to dessert teas? Actually, Trisha, we do. If you go to plumdeluxe.com/tea shop, there's a filter on the right if you're on a desktop, or it's in a little drop down above the list called Sweet. And that's where the dessert teas lie, under the tab called Sweet. But also, we have a dessert tea page that can also help you just explore a little more about the dessert teas. I will just say, like, Sweet is kind of a flavor profile, so there might be some things in there that are not necessarily like dessert teas, but that's where they live. And hey, those guys are on discount, quantity discount, so they kind of go along for the ride because we have to pick something. So that's available all the time, not just during dessert month. So you can filter by sweet, spicy, Earl Grey, fruity. You can even do combinations if you want to do spicy and fruity, or green and sweet. You can do all sorts of combinations and see what interests you. So don't miss that. I got a lot of questions about my favorite dessert teas. So, it's just like choosing children. It's hard to decide. Kind of go, like, I wrote it down right away, and then I was like thinking if I should change my mind. But I'm just going to tell you the ones I wrote down right away. Like, I just like put them down in the list right away without even thinking. First one was buttery shortbread, for sure. Very proud of that tea. Worked on that tea for years. It's just really unique. It just has an amazing aroma. It's honeybush tea, which is one of my favorites to drink and to work with. So it's just a great, relaxing tea. And just the taste, I think it's very unique. I mean that in a good way. So if you haven't tried that one, I like that one. Pork chip and pecan, man, that just can't go wrong with that. Been thinking about that tea a lot. I was just talking with a friend who lives in New Orleans, and we were lamenting that there's no Mardi Gras, and I was saying, this tea that we have that reminds me of like praline pecans. We're kind of having that nice conversation, and so I think that's why I like that tea. In our old building before we moved here, and before there was a pandemic, and the world was ending, we used to always have like tons of things of sugared nuts and spicy nuts in the kitchen. Can't wait to go back to that, where we can all have the grubby hands in the kitchen, but it's off the table for now. Have to settle for the pork chip and pecan. So long story short, that's my second favorite. And then vanilla sugar cookie. It's just like a classic. I love like it, herbal dessert tea that's like spicy, but it's not like super spicy. It just has that little hint of spice, kind of just like a zest. It's kind of like the cinnamon on the top of the cookie. So I really like that one. So that's one of my favorites. But there's so many to choose from. There's so many good ones. So I really encourage you, especially this month's the perfect month to explore it. That's why we're talking about it all month and highlighting it and doing a Q&A today. So take a look at the full list. You might find something in there that surprises you that you didn't think about before, or brings back a really fond memory of someone that's no longer here that made that dessert or was known for that dessert, or a flavor profile that reminds you of a place that you can't go right now. So I hope that you really take some time and just look through. I think it's fun to just think about those things. Last question I have pre-submitted, and then I'll see if we have more from the feed. I'm not seeing them on my doc, but I might have to refresh. I was curious, Jacqueline asked, high tea at home ideas. Well, here's the thing about being stuck at home. It's great to be home, right? We don't have to be stuck. We can enjoy being at home. You can do whatever you want. So that's what I would say if you're doing like high tea at home or high tea on Zoom with your friends, or you're making high tea before you join one of Jenna and Kieran's crazy weekend tea parties, virtual tea parties. What do you really like? And just go for it. Just go for it. If you just love the jam and cream and the scones, just make a little like jam bar or something. Just load it up. If you're worried about having like too much food at the end, just set some aside. Carefully portion it out and give it to someone who might appreciate it. My neighbors and I keep trading food back and forth. So it's like always like a loaf of bread or some like random thing sitting on my porch when I get home. So just be careful, do it carefully, tastefully. But I just say go for it, man. Because if you go to a restaurant, they choose for you, and sometimes that's great. But sometimes, hey, you get to choose. So just do a nice spread. And I was just saying the other day, sometimes it's really easy to get frustrated and be like, I'm so bored. Like, there's nothing to do. My favorite things aren't open. I can't go anywhere. This is terrible. I don't like it. But then, what are all the things that I've wanted to do and I don't have time? I always say I don't have time to do. So maybe like baking is one, or you really want to shop on eBay for nice plates to put things on. You have the time. You have the spare time. So, do whatever is going to make you happy, Jacqueline, or anyone else thinking about wanting to do high tea at home. What's going to make you smile? I mean, we all have a certain number of days on planet Earth, and so just do things that make you smile. All right, let's see. Questions. I refreshed and they're here, so everyone can not panic. Let's see. Aaron says, is Italian wedding cake in decaf? It is not, but you got toasted marshmallow and you'll like it, Aaron. Also, total sidebar, I do want to keep the focus on dessert teas, but if you didn't see, Aaron made us the most amazing dragon for the office. And there's a post going around. We're looking for feedback on names. We're voting tomorrow. If you haven't told us about your favorite dragon name, don't miss that because time is running out for picking the names. Also, Crystal asked, I was hoping my favorite would be on sale, buttery shortbread. You're in luck, Crystal. It is. So the teas that are included are the ones in this sweet section. We don't want to make it too complicated, so we just call it sweet. I know that there's teas in there that are not necessarily dessert teas, but it's just easier, right? It's the sweet ones. You can click on sweet, and those are the ones on the list, and you're all good. So just click on sweet. Let's see. I'm refreshing again. Okay, we have another question. Are these teas available all year long? And the answer is yes and no. So 3 of the teas are here just for the month, just for dessert tea month. And that was the 3 I talked about right at the beginning of our Q&A. Toasted marshmallow, caramelized pear, and Italian wedding cake. Those are here just for the month. So if you want to try those, get your order in so you can try it, see what you think. Grab another before they leave for the end of the month. Other teas like caramel almond, coconut macaroon, shortbread, those will be here all the time. So you don't need to worry about those. And if you're ever not sure, usually in the listing under the little description underneath the name of the tea, it will say only in Feb. And then also looking at the full description, it'll say right at the top, featured, as part of dessert tea month, only available in February. It's super clear, so you don't have to worry about emailing us to ask. It'll say right there on the page. So if it doesn't say something like only in Feb, only in March, only in January, etc., it's here all the time. So you're totally good. I did also want to mention, just while we're talking about which teas are in and out, etc., we do have Mardi Gras tea blend, even though Mardi Gras got canceled. It's kind of a bummer. You can have Mardi Gras in your mug, and that is a cinnamon pecan tea. Made that after I went to New Orleans a couple years ago and was really inspired by all the things. So that comes around every February, and it's just for the month of February. It's not really in the dessert tea section, it's just a normal tea, but it's just here for the month. So just wanted to clarify about that one. So people have been waiting for that to come back. I know a lot of people enjoyed it last year, and so they've been waiting. So it is definitely back here for the month. Let's see. Let's refresh again. I think we've covered all of our main questions. While I wait for a few more to come in, because we do have a few more minutes left with the Q&A, I did want to point out that we did add a new signature tea to the shop. So again, I said it a few minutes ago, we really take your feedback seriously, and when we got so much survey responses on our year-end reflection survey, we really took them to heart. And one thing that people have been asking us for are more greens, whites, pu'ers, oolongs, the lesser known siblings of the tea world. And we agree with you. That's just totally makes sense. So we've been working on that, and so we've added a green tea into our shop that'll be available all the time, and it's up now, and it's just called Mango Apricot. Sometimes the teas have really cute names, and sometimes they just want to, wear their heart in their sleeve, and that's what it is. So we've got Mango Apricot. It's a green tea with honeybush, which is a little interesting and unique pairing. I don't see that very often, but it's really nice. I think this is a nice tea if you're new to green tea and haven't, explored it very much. It's not sweet, it's just, fruity, but it's a nice, approachable tea blend. And so I really love this one. Really excited for it to be in the shop, so to be there now and until something changes. So excited about Mango Apricot. So if you like mango, like apricot. If you like iced tea, if you're an iced tea drinker and you hang out with the iced tea folks all year long, it's a very great choice. Great cold brew tea. No one asked that, but that is a good point on the dessert teas. A lot of them are great iced. I would say it just, your mileage may vary on what you think is good iced or not. It's hard to say. I can think of several, like the caramel almond would be a really good one, a good example of I think that would be a solid choice for iced tea. Some of the other ones, I don't know, like the chocolates and stuff. I don't have a lot of chocolate iced tea experience myself. But the thing is if you like iced tea, if you really just love iced tea, then try it. Because maybe it's amazing for you and all of us think you're crazy. And that's okay, you can be crazy. But you don't know if you don't try it. I got a question from Lanisha. Any teas to avoid with stevia? I would say no, not really. I would just be really cautious about making it too sweet or adding so much sweetener that you don't get the actual notes of the tea. So it's always a good idea if you're using sweeteners to give the tea a quick taste first if you've never had it before. Obviously, if you're using honey or something, it's great to put the sweetener in while the boiling water is right in there, so it's super hot, so it dissolves really quickly. Or something like the coconut sugar, you have the maple dust. So those do dissolve really well if you put them in right at the beginning. But if you haven't had the tea before, I always say it's a great idea to taste it first before you add the sweetener. See what else is going on here. Would love to hear, while I'm waiting for a few more questions, what other Q&A topics would you guys like me to go into? We're trying to do the themed Q&As just to make it easier for people to suggest questions. We post all of these on our Facebook page and on YouTube, and it's nice for people who are checking in who didn't make the lives to know what the topics are. So we're trying to keep them shorter, 30, 40 minutes and more topic specific. So if you have Q&A topics that you'd like for me to do in the future, speak now, because you may get your wish. So always like to know what things you want to hear about, what things you're interested in. Any more questions? How are we doing on questions, guys? We're almost at 30 minutes. Nope. Oh, we got one more coming in. I feel like I'm on the QVC, like we're waiting for inventory to arrive. Just a second, hold your calls. Let's see. Easter specials?
Oh.
Is it Easter? I'm gonna guess Easter. Betsy's asking about Easter specials. It says East specials in the notes, and I don't think that's what it means unless you're wanting a discount for people who got pummeled with snow, which I heard was happening. Meanwhile, here in the Pacific Northwest, there's no winter. Despite the rumors that you saw of Jenna playing in the snow, it has been very warm here and no snow. That was just an optical illusion. It was white out for maybe the 7 minutes that Jenna was outside dancing on our sidewalk. Easter specials. And then I see my iPad is being crazy today. We have Easter specials and then new cups and tins for Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is only in like a couple weeks, and USPS is still really slow. So if you need Valentine's gifts, like now, gift cards, really encourage that. I would hate to your boo not have their surprise when you need it. So I definitely encourage that. We don't have anything special otherwise for Valentine's Day. We do have 10% off the dark rose tea hearts, which is a pu'er tea, and also a discount on the hot chocolate. So if you like anything sweet, man, this is your month because it's on sale or discount in some way or fashion. But Easter comes early this year. If this is a news to everybody, Easter and Mother's Day are both really early in the month, like the first weekends of April and May. So if you have to plan something, buy a gift for either of those holidays, I am here to let you know that you need to start now because it's early. So what we're actually going to do is have our Easter blend and our Mother's Day blends available a little earlier than normal, just so that there's no disappointment of like, you get it weeks after Easter has ended, and you know what's the fun in that? So those will be kind of moving up. But we do have in March new tins and new mugs and new teas, all for spring. So you can see new kind of accessory products of that nature in March. I'm really excited. We never have had Easter themed stuff before, apart from the little bunny infusers, the carrots, which are so cute. Those are coming back. We have to find some more of those. They're too cute. But we have mugs and tins that you're really going to like for Easter and for spring. So let's see. And Rhiannon, who joined us late, was asking about favorite dessert tea. You did miss it, Rhiannon, but we're really glad that you're here. Port Sip and Pecan, gotta get it. A little bit of maple dust. And then big shout out to Ashley from Minnesota. We're glad that you're with us. Let's see, anything else? Well, I think those are some good ones. We'll just wrap with those. Really excited about Easter, spring teas. Always great to have things to be looking forward to. But you still have 3 weeks. Remember, February only lasts 28 days. And today is the 2nd or 3rd. I have no idea what day it is. 2nd. So you only have 26. Oh, math live. It's not good. 26 days to enjoy Mardi Gras tea, toasted marshmallow, Italian wedding cake. This feels like a quiz, you know. Caramelized pear, and then the discounts on all the other dessert teas. And remember, that's anything that's in the sweet category. So just click on sweet, and those are the teas. If there's a tea not in sweet that you think is sweet, you missed out. And if there's a tea in there that you don't think is sweet, you win. So it could go either way depending on your taste buds. I'll just leave you with, we have Easter and spring surprises coming in March, but we do have Doctor Who surprises. It's not just a tea, that's all I can say, coming this month, just in a couple weeks. So be on the lookout for that. There's also an email to sign up for, plumdeluxe.com/Dr-Who, I think. So if you find that stuff fun, or you just want to see what's going on and you don't even care about Doctor Who, you can still sign up. I would encourage you, if you're even remotely a little bit interested, or maybe piqued your curiosity, to check that out and sign up for the email, because Kieran and Jenna have been planning nefarious shenanigans on the email list, so you don't want to miss out on that. Otherwise, I'll catch you in another month for another Q&A. Happy Dessert Tea Month. Happy Valentine's Day. Please stay safe. Be careful. We're going to get through this one day at a time. We're grateful for your support, and take care.